and hear us.
Or taste or touch or smell. Oh. Yep.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tier Moontree. So, some of you may know I'm in the process of selling my home and buying a new one, so my world's kind of topsy-turvy. So the setup today is a little bit different. Thank you so much to Adam, who you may or may not have heard the voice of. I'm actually not sure if he muted himself for streams that only we could hear him. I don't know, but thank you so much to Adam, who's hosting the stream and got all the tech set up and did all the legwork for that. I really, really appreciate it. I know it's a lot of work, and it's very, very useful because compared to my normal computer that streams, I've got one minimally powered laptop. I'm going to be probably trying to not do a whole lot in Roll20. Otherwise, I'm afraid it might catch on fire. The fan is beginning to make disquieting noises already. But yes, welcome to Tier Moontree Isle, where my name is Galway Trainer. I am the unbenevolent dictator of Helpful Goat Gaming, and tonight my friends and I will be building and exploring a magical world, or in the case of Tier, not so magical. I am the DM for the proceedings, and as such, the stars are the people who are not me. This is me, and I just realized that once again, I don't actually know the arrangement of these, so I'm going to go in the arrangement that you all are on my screen. You have seen her play actually quite a lot of things with us, and you probably just watched her play Spire yesterday. Rachel, playing Nero, the very friendly half-burned cowman.
Yay, hi.
The rogue with the plan that is almost always foiled by the very friendly half-burned cowman. Elise, playing Minnow Rowe.
Hello.
The suit of armor that is playing a suit of armor with feelings. Sam, playing Dent. Remember, the eyes are just for show. He sees through the slits.
Ow.
Oh, Jesus.
Rachel doesn't like those.
the voice of reason and tossing horses through windows. Heather, playing Ressa.
Hello.
I like as we get further and further from that specific incident, it's just getting more and more abstracted. It's not like testing. I think the first time I said like testing out a situation by throwing a horse, and now it's just like throwing a horse through a window.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Every time I get a chance.
And last but not least, she has played a character on every Tier series at this point, and on 3 of the 4 main landmasses of Tier. Chris, who tonight is not playing the delightful One Shoe or the chronically worried Neldor, but is playing the very, very happy-go-lucky, constantly trying to get control of his tail, Ketch.
Hey, everyone.
So we are Helpful Goat Gaming, or we are some of Helpful Goat Gaming, and tonight we'll be here playing some D&D with Tier Moontree Isle, which is a homebrew campaign that I run in my world of Tier. If you are interested, if you enjoy this, if you want to see more of this, you can follow us here on Twitch. You can also subscribe to us as we're affiliate. And you can also cheer some bits because any support makes it a little bit easier for us to do more of this, and we love doing this. You can check out our archives on YouTube, where we are Helpful Goat Gaming, and you can also check out our podcasts, and there's information down below for links to wherever you want to get those. The Tier stuff appears in the Helpful Goat Presents podcast feed, which is generally somewhat smaller, more varied. We have some different systems, not just D&D in there. And then Goats and Dragons has 2 things. One is our long-form campaign, The Fates of Rin, which is a level 1 to level 20 eventually, assuming Andy doesn't kill us all. He's really trying. But we're about level 13 right now, so you can check that out there. And also Dom and Dragons, which is us playing Dungeons and Dragons with Dominic Monaghan, is located in that podcast feed. Besides this, if you would like to, for some reason, having watched us do this, hang out with us more, you can use the Discord command where you can, interact with us
Hang out
kinda
with
like
us
this.
more.
Yeah, we're kind of like this all the time, so you know what you're getting into. It just intensifies. It's fine. But yeah, you can use the Discord command in chat, and that'll get you a link to join our Discord. We have a lot of fun. We also do some internal game streaming in there, though admittedly that's down a little bit because I'd recently been playing Return of the Obra Dinn, and I cannot currently do supernatural claims adjustment because I do not have a computer on which to do so. But we also do community like board game days, various things. So we have lots of fun activities. Come hang out in there with us.
I'll stream some Overwatch for you. You can watch my terrible aim and listen to Rachel say curse words.
How fucking dare you?
Wait, half of the draw was listen to Rachel say curse words, and we're playing D&D. So
I mean, yeah.
I'm can be. I mean, you've played Fortnite with me. You know, Goldie.
Oh God, it's
You
random,
know.
and like there's no like particular target to her words.
No, if I'm the last person alive, it's a hot mess. Whew.
that was still one of my. We do also occasionally like internally stream us playing some Fortnite or just games for fun, which do, yes, occasionally feature Rachel being the last one alive on the squad, and then just a torrent of profanity sort of from nowhere, not really directed against us for dying, the enemies for living, just the world. But yeah, there's lots of good times to be had there. We here at Helpful Goat Games would also like to pause and take a moment to continue to direct attention using what platform we have to the very, very real problems with police brutality, racism, systemic and otherwise in America. To that end, we have an !BLM command in chat, an !donate, both of which are pointed to resources that you can use to educate yourself, to find ways that you can contribute either monetarily or through time and effort, and a lot of good just sort of resources and getting started guides there. We here strongly encourage you to, at the very least, take the time to educate yourself on some of these issues and understand them better. If you have the resources, which we know not everyone does, especially right now, please, we encourage you to donate to them. And if not, we encourage you to either take part in direct activism, such as the protests, marches, etc. But for those of you who, like myself, that would be dangerous for in the world of COVID-19, as I'm a type 1 diabetic, we really, really encourage you to reach out and talk to some of these organizations because they probably have ways that, hey, if you could do this a very simple, straightforward thing that does not expose you to a bunch more people, it would really make a difference for us. So we encourage you to go do that. We encourage you, as always, to remember and to express the fact that Black Lives Matter. All right. I think that's all of the pre-run stuff. I've probably missed at least 3 things. My brain is honestly not fully here right now.
At least it's not trying to compress itself and make your eyeballs pop out of your head.
There's that.
There's that.
Elise is always in with the one-up. I mean,
Yeah, that was like.
look at
Ready for
me.
it.
I've
Like,
got
you're gonna talk
medical
about
issues.
brains? I'm ready. I'm sorry, Colin. I'm just teasing.
No, that's fair. That was a fair point. I am glad
You
that
don't know what
was not
suffering
what I
is because my suffering is slightly worse.
That's right.
Love
So very
you.
white.
But with that, I think with all of that, generally on Helpful Goat, we stream here on twitch.tv/HelpfulGoat. Usually on Tuesdays, there is Goat's Eye View. That has not happened for the past few weeks because of moving. I'm currently sitting in my room, where I've always streamed, except the walls are all different colors. I'm not at actually my desk or using my actual computer without my monitors or my mouse, or there's a lot of stuff happening. So once some of that settles down, those will pick back up on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, we've been streaming playtesting of Adventures in the Void, which is the RPG we've been working on. And I believe many of these wonderful people have been appearing in that, and it's been a lot of fun. Thursday, as mentioned, you can have the Adventures of Spire, which is 1 part RPG, 1 part test of how much can Elise take before she breaks. How's that going?
Oh, you know what? It's not too bad right now.
It's
Feel like-
Friday.
Yeah, we made it to Friday yesterday. I'm feeling good.
Kelvy's not even fully half bug yet.
Kelby's not even fully half bug yet. Yeah.
Barnabas slept most of the last episode.
So then it's Friday.
You know, we've been playing since April, and people are starting to learn the basic mechanics of how they can refresh stress. It's nice.
Oh, now I can eat human flesh to actually refresh.
Well, elf flesh, but
Elf.
sure.
It's all the same. I could eat Nesna if I wanted to.
Human
No, I
red
couldn't.
flesh.
Oh God, they're infected.
Don't do that. Or do. That would make things interesting.
So as this little snippet might have gotten across to you, Spire has some pretty dark shit going on, and it's a lot of fun because these wonderful people make it a lot of fun. Lisa DMs that one, and it's been a blast getting to watch that. I've actually been missing it because I haven't. I've been running home from showings, and like halfway in, I'm like, no, I just die instead. And then on Fridays, we normally have one of our D&D streams, either Tier Moontree Isle, which happens every other week, or something else. And I believe, don't quote me on this fully, but I believe that next week we will be resuming Fates of Rin from our mid-season break.
Woohoo!
Hey!
So, and I do recall the last thing that occurred in Fates of Rin was Charity going, "Oh fuck." So,
Yes.
you know, we're
Oh
coming
yeah,
right back
I
in the
recall
week.
that too.
Good point. Good things will have been happening to the family, I'm sure. So, with all of that out of the way, how about everybody go over what happened last time on Tier Moontree Isle?
How about?
Nero and I got into a scuffle.
We sure did. We went and there was a burning building that a kobold and some dwarves set on fire. And it was the place we were going to, like the bookshop or printer or whatever that Ketch
Yes.
knew.
Yes.
And they pretended to be Shadowhand poorly. Like it was that
Horribly.
like it was like the Shadowhand kind of
Literally
of thing,
just
like-
like that.
But
you
that-
cannot
that
catch
was the-
me.
That was just the kobold. The dwarves were just like, "Oh, I've been paid and I suck at my job," and
Yep.
that's what happened there.
And then they tried to run, and Nero and the kobold ran into some guards, and kobold was like, "He attacked me," and Nero was like, "That's true." So
Right? And
You
I
know.
was totally ready to weaponize some cats.
You
yeah,
weren't ready. You basically did.
I did.
That in fact made it into the recap image underneath. I did like two very simple like subject verb things for each of the party split that happened, and I think that one was like, I can't remember, like answers were found, cats were weaponized or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens when the DM gives a throwaway item and Ketch just is like, uh-huh.
Also, just for context for people, just because I think I said this a little bit to the people afterwards, but it was kind of funny because I knew there was going to be a party split probably coming, and there was this encounter which was designed to maybe be a chase. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting to see how many of the party ends up there and what ends up happening. And lo and behold, the two people who end up there are the Tabaxi, who can just fucking wind sprint from anywhere, and the monk. And I'm like,
my
sort of like
movement is
looking-
50 feet.
yeah, like sort of like look at the notes for the chase, and I'm like, fuck it, damn, there's zero chance.
There's no chase
anyone is getting
happening.
away.
Yay.
I could also tell you what other people did, but I thought other
Oh.
people might want to recount their
Yes.
own things.
Sure. I carried letters. I was looking for Dylan's contacts in the crafting district, and I took letters from everybody to send back home, which got done. I learned from these contacts and a family friend that the circles are starting to move, and they're actually ordering lots and lots of armor and weapons. So this is not good news. Some bad things are happening, and everybody in the town is freaked out because of the disappearances and everything that's been going on. Hopefully I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, the circles were what the blades and scribes, right?
Mhm.
And it's basically like knights and monarchy
Basically the
approved.
military leaders and like the court bureaucracy.
Right.
And the two main power brokers of this kingdom.
Right.
As a result.
And so we found out if the circles are acting, it could be very bad news, like Civil War level bad news.
That's what happened the last time, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then for were you finished with your description? Okay, cool. So Dent and Dellen went to the fish markets finally. And
I was so excited.
yeah. And we met with one of Dellen's contacts there, Fantril, who is like top tier fisherman. And he told us that there had been, that's where my notes stop, but he told us that there's basically, if I recall correctly, there had been lights and such from the south end of Moontree Isle, and that there was a series of, like, I can't quite recall if it was like a bunch of fishermen that had told these stories, or if it was like the locals there.
Yeah, no, the fisher. I have fishers in my notes. Like that fisherman went out there, and it's mostly in the evening, and but none of them would go near it for the lights.
Okay.
And Dellen freaked out at that.
Yeah. Dellen was not a fan of this.
Very shaken, especially at the suggestion that we would be going to the island. Yeah, doesn't seem fond of that idea. But
Well,
I have that Dent got a fishing upgrade.
I did get a fishing upgrade, and it was
And an autograph.
and a blotchy autograph.
2 autographs, technically. You got a perfectly legible autograph on a piece of paper, and then you also requested him to sign a box with a quill. That one didn't go so well.
I did. I don't know how these things work.
It's now just a puddle of ink that you're very carefully like holding this box to make sure it doesn't run off of it, waiting for the ink to dry. But yeah.
Minnow went disguised as her spouse to the Light in the Dark and had a conversation with Dara, the Eledrin barkeep of this place. Talked about the Shadow Hand, talked about Moontree Isle having gone dark, no word has gone in or out. I didn't take very good notes of my conversation because like Dent, Minnow was very caught up and therefore at least didn't take notes. But I feel like we just kind of learned that the Shadow Hand is like moving, the circles are moving, kind of similar stuff that we were hearing before, as well as when I left, Dara had clocked that Minnow was Minnow and not Arden, and had left a note for her saying to go to a particular family in the 3rd ward of the Docks District. I forget, I don't think I wrote down the name.
Morin I Digas or something like that.
More than
Okay.
anything else. Yep.
I like how we all take different amounts of notes, but each one fills in the others.
Yeah,
It is like
good.
perfectly complementary notes, and I love it.
One thing I was going to say is that Dara mentioned that the disappearances could have started up to 15 days ago. And that
Moontree Isle has been totally dark for a week.
yeah, and that the entire island has quote unquote disappeared.
I think the entire island
Yeah.
has disappeared. Like the
No one's gone
landmass?
in or out. Of
No, I
the
think
people.
it's just gone totally dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
okay,
people
that's what I have, yeah.
disappeared. Yeah.
The people, yeah. No word has gone in or out is what I have in my.
Yeah, I
in
don't
my
think
notes here.
anybody investigated that the entire town is gone.
Right.
It's just that nobody's heard anything and it's been totally dark over there.
Right, and the 15 days is significant because this is probably very similar to the time
Amber Heart.
Amber Heart happened. Ish. I mean, we'd have to do the math, but I think that's pretty close.
Yeah.
And then Minna went to see if she could find a Shadow Hand agent. I just ended up talking to that kid, intimidated him into thinking
that
I
poor
was.
kid.
Yeah, but we got a name of like a local gang member who we think isn't involved with the pineapples, the Shadow Hand.
The pineapples.
But we're not sure who. His name is Jarrell, I think, and he's the like leader of that group, whoever they are.
Jarrell, he's Kryptonian, right?
I was just fucking thinking that, Chris. Thank you. I'm glad somebody said it.
It's very
That's
good.
all I could think. I was just like, Kal-El. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much everything. Yeah. Yeah, so something definitely seems to be up with Moontree Isle. And you would also know from Dellen's having spoken to you that sort of his goal in retaining you was that first he was going to reach out to his contacts here and see if, something's wrong with my sending stone, or, just here's what's happening. So he would just know what was there, and then he would try to figure out what he was doing from there to contact his group, Deephold. Or failing to get any information from that, he was planning to go to Moontree Isle, which contained an outpost of Deephold. So it's possible, and I think just for clarification, because I don't think I described this very well, his upset was probably not so much around going to Moontree Isle. It was the fact that, we might be going to Moontree Isle and bad shit is happening directly there. Oh, good.
Got it.
Because up until now, as much as he seemed nervous, you could kind of tell that Dellen was holding out hope that this was just something he'd screwed up, or it was a perfectly sort of benign coincidence. People were just busy. Something was getting fouled up. But you're getting, you also, Ressa, speaking to one of his contacts, the leather worker, was like, yeah, they asked for a bunch of stuff and then no one came and picked it up. And so this is seeming to bear out the something has happened also to the Deephold group, so that Dellen's worries are very, very founded. And yeah, so I would say for starting up tonight, please excuse, I'm doing this on a touchpad. Which also I discovered over time, if I'm pressing my push to talk key, it doesn't work. It doesn't, like the touchpad will not move.
Oh, fun.
Know if Dellen himself has hold bait.
Is Sam really quiet to everybody else?
Okay, so I was like, was everyone else able to understand that?
Yep, sorry. I was typing, and so I turned my mic down, and I forgot. Do we know if Dellen has has been to and is well acquainted with the Deephold base on Moontree Isle?
You don't know for certain, though he certainly spoke fairly confidently of it. And actually, the one thing you would know is that he commented at one point to one of you, I think, he had deployed from there to get to Amberheart. So he's been through it relatively recently.
Okay, but it's probably safe to say that none of us have been there.
I don't think any of you have necessarily been to Moontree Isle, because there is jack shit diddly there except for a fishing village, and Dent, you're the only one who would have been super interested in that, and kind of difficult for the suit of armor to get to the small island. So
yeah, it's fair.
Minnow, actually, you might have a little bit of knowledge about it because it's a small fishing village, aka perfectly suited for smuggling. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to think of the way to say this. The operations that would involve being on Moontree Isle were like right at the level that you got out. when you were starting to push into that level of involvement, money, etc., that's when you got out. And you were fundamentally more involved on the burglary and sort of the B&E and hustle side, as opposed to operationalized smuggling of, yes, load this ship, get this ship over to here, change cargo in the middle of the lake. But you would have at least some familiarity of, yeah, there's some shady shit that happens there. Dent knows all about the fishing village. And most of the rest of you who have worked in like crafting, so both Ketch and Ressa, there's not a big enough community to really support, especially your relatively luxury goods. So you probably didn't have any reason to have ever.
I mean, I'm also a wood carver, so I probably was like in. Okay, I'll be quiet.
I mean, honestly, of all of the characters, I feel like Nero is the closest to. Of course, Nero's been there because Nero has just talked to fucking everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Nero
considering
made a friend who put him on a boat and was like, "Go this way."
Yeah.
Nero
basically.
Nero made a friend who desperately ushered him onto a boat that was just leaving.
Everybody
rid of
enjoys my conversation, even the squirrels. And especially Jebediah, who's totally still alive in my pocket.
Jebediah the secret agent lizard
Have-
is still
Stanley,
been
right?
feeding
Stanley the
him?
squirrel?
and Stanley the squirrel.
Of course I've been feeding him. I take care of Sweet Pea. I can take care of Jebediah.
It's the same
Different
character.
worlds.
Slightly different creatures as well.
They all eat flesh.
I mean,
Interesting interpretation of
insect
lizard
flesh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hey, I
Sure.
teach third grade science. I know all about insect flesh, and we talk about the. I'll be quiet.
Okay,
Anyway,
that
so
one in the helpful
Tyr.
quotes list. All right. So let's return to the tattooed turtle, and everybody except Nero and Ketch. You've sort of been there. Dent, you and Dellen sort of arrived back first. You had the least to go. After a while, Ressa sort of trailed back in, and then Minnow, looking like yourself, shortly after that, sort of popped in from a side door. And now you're sort of sitting around a table and you're waiting for Ketch and Nero to return. And what would you like to be doing in the sort of common room of the tattooed turtle? Once again, Dellen has sat down and is just staring straight ahead, drinking from a large flagon of ale with like this very fixed expression on his face.
Poor Dellen.
So it's me, Ketch, and Minnow right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, and Dellen.
And
No.
Dylan.
Ressa.
Yes.
Dent, Ressa.
Yes, and
Minnow.
not Ketch. Yeah.
And not Ketch. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Ketch and Nero still haven't come back, but you also knew that they were running an errand in a sort of farther district. They might have just been. It hasn't been too long since Minnow came back.
Gathered. Yeah. I think I would at least kind of sit down with my drink and kind of look around, make sure no one's listening, and then kind of quietly say, like, I think it's pretty fair to say, in fact, 100% sure at this point that our presence in town is noted, and got some info that it's not just me, as we kind of were suspecting, but all of us, that the pineapples are after. Just so you guys know, to keep your heads down.
Well, and then Dent removes his helmet.
It's just, no, not like that. Not like that. Proverbially, keep your head down, as in don't draw attention to yourself, as in don't remove your precious darling face from your head, from your shoulders.
Oh, okay. All right.
People
Well,
tend to notice headless things.
Just a little bit.
see, they tell me to keep my head down. Okay. No.
You have to learn about figurative speech. I hear we have a school teacher in the group. We'll get her right on that.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll say that for another time. But for now, I'm stricken by the fact that, I mean, I haven't been to Moontree Isle. I don't know if any of us have, except for for Dellen. So I feel like he might be safer here than with us, where whatever's going on at Moontree. I just don't know.
Probably.
But it would be really helpful to have a guide.
Dellen, my impression, because he's sitting right there, right?
Yeah.
Drinking, looking straight
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm going to kind of... Dellen, hey, my impression was that we're all going together to Moontree Isle after this because well, it seems like, from what I've gathered and from what I'm guessing from what you and Dent and Ressa learned, your contacts are not hearing from your friends, huh?
Yes, that does.
Are you okay? Like, is this like a wife or a husband or a brother or something that you've lost? Because you seem real upset.
It is. The group that I work with is. It is, even if not by blood, they are my family. They are the people that I have worked alongside. They are the people that I share my life with. It is just. It is extremely worrisome because. And you're going to sort of see him look around for a second. Like, and you feel a slight stirring of magic in the air. And you notice now that when he speaks, it seems much more hushed. You're noticing people's eyes seem to just glide sort of past the booth that you're in. It's like, when I spoke to you first, I tried to be quite open and honest about the fact that I wasn't sure what was going on, but that it probably wasn't good. In the same way that I wasn't quite sure what was going on with your hometown, but everyone disappearing was probably not good. Within that not being sure, the best case scenario was that I had made a mistake and that really nothing was wrong. Let's just call them the general middle case scenarios, was that there was something wrong, but that it was general. Let's say the pineapples were fucking with some magical object and it's screwing everything up. That's pretty bad, but that was still preferable to the last tier, which was someone was specifically targeting my group. This now feels like what has to be happening. And that implies someone with a great deal of background knowledge to be able to find us, and a fair amount of capability to be able to do something to us. Thus, I am very unhappy, but at the same time, I entirely agree with both yourself and Dent that we will need to be heading to Moontree Isle, and probably quickly. I would also agree it is most likely safer for me here, but in order to effect a positive outcome, I think I must go with you.
This effect that you just did, the magic, that's something you can do more of?
Yes, not too much. I grow tired at times, but yes, I can do this.
He's only got so many spell slots.
Same. Okay, well.
He's gonna sort of look and goes, so just as a discussion point, had you all sort of been talking about what you had found, or were you waiting for everyone to be back?
I was telling everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Dent was so excited about Fantril that there was no stopping him talking about Fantril. And in fact, he's probably going to start talking about Vantril again really soon. But for right now, so Dylan, is there any reason why another organization or just a separate entity would have like beef with you guys? Like what? Why would people specifically seek you and your brotherhood out?
You sort of see him like thinking. I don't know, but much like the situation generally, I can think of 3 main reasons, paths, groups of reasons. One would be greed. As I've mentioned, we have access to a fair number of magical items. If they found out about this, there's all kinds of people who might want them, and even very capable people, such as the pineapples, might have discovered enough to get themselves able to try that without knowing anything else. Another is almost sheer curiosity. We try to avoid notice generally, but there are plenty of incidents in which it is necessary for someone like myself to identify myself to you or to another operative or to someone who helps us with things, such as the crafters in this town. And sometimes the wrong people get this information or think about it, and this can lead to a curiosity. That one I would mostly be concerned at the capability of then doing something about it would indicate a much more powerful group or generally capable group. The last one that I really don't want to be true would be the bad option. Generally.
Which
Drink,
is
Bad option.
Drink.
how drunk is Dylan?
Dylan is a drunk now.
He's been drinking a lot, right?
He doesn't actually look extremely drunk from sort of your read of him, though he's been drinking a fair amount. But he's more been drinking sort of slowly and steadily than like powering down. There's
maintaining a nice little buzz.
That's important. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, cat.
And so he's going to sort of like the bartender will bring over a drink, and he sort of, again. The bad option would be people seeking to destroy the world. Hence, bad.
The whole.
So you have world-ending things at Moontree Isle, like.
No, we have.
Powerful magic.
Okay, we're a whole bunch of layers past where you should previously have been told about things, but this seems like an unusual situation where I need help. It's not what we have, it's what we do. My comrades and I work. You all know the Cataclysm. You all learned of it. You all have, if you've traveled widely, perhaps even seen areas still affected by it, still blighted by it. And you all learned that long in the past there was the Cataclysm and the heroes fought it back, and et cetera, et cetera. And some places, like down to the south, are widely blighted. Other places here were merely very damaged, but not blighted, and life was able to continue more or less as it is. But you see, that is wrong. The Cataclysm is still happening. People are still fighting back against it. That is part of what my comrades and I do. We try to hold it back. Removing us would really only be done by people who want us to not be doing that anymore. And I can't come up with a lot of good, positive reasons that people want to stop preventing a cataclysm.
So then we should just route out that option, right? Because no one would want the world to end, right? Right?
Would it? What would be the final outcome?
Well, presumably it would be worse than the things that happened to the world back in the cataclysm. Maybe
How
slower.
long ago is the cataclysm, according to like our thought, like understanding of it?
1,500 years.
Yeah, I was going to say like a couple millennia or something.
Far enough back so that there's no one in everyday society who is alive or whose like parents would have been alive. But not so long ago that this is, faded into far myth or anything. And you would certainly all know that, yeah, there are areas, though not particularly the island where you all live, where there is blight, and it's an ongoing sort of destructive effect of the cataclysm, and nature is twisted and shaped and like made very peculiar, and monstrosities roam the areas. But that's always just been phrased as like, oh, this was an effect, and then there was the blight, and in a lot of areas people have been pushing that blight back. So this is kind of surprising to you that he would say that, yeah, no, this is just still going. This is
Right.
not how people think of this.
I have to take a really quick break. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Are we almost at the point at which Ketch and Nero would be back?
I mean, we still have to like resolve that. Who knows if we're coming back?
So
Oh, true. Yeah.
I'm
On that-
listening. I'm sorry. I just had to walk away real quick.
on that front, you're gonna sort of, Dellen is sort of looking straight ahead again. He's gonna go, shouldn't Ketch and Nero be back? We need to decide what we're doing, and quickly. Where were they going? I don't recall. I just remember I was supposed to use a firm hand with Dent.
I don't remember where they were going, but I'm sure Ressa would.
Yeah, Ressa would know that they were headed to the Merchants District.
Okay. So they were going to the Merchants District.
Merchant/Casual District, right in that area. So pretty far in.
Okay. Do you think we should go after them?
I'm concerned. There's many things that seem to be happening, and people disappearing doesn't seem great to me. And at this, you're actually going to, the door of the tattooed turtle is going to open. And a guardsman is going to walk in and is going to sort of swing his head from side to side. Doesn't seem to see you all. And then sort of walk up to the bartender, like, and you see the bartender point right at you, and he like sort of turns and looks startled that he just didn't notice this booth occupied with people, and he's going to sort of walk forward and like, are you the Marauders?
Who would like to know?
The city guard. I have a message for you.
We are.
Yes, here. And he's going to hand you a small folded note.
Okay. Would I know if I'm supposed to like tip him or?
He's still just sort of standing. He doesn't look expectant. He just looks like he's waiting.
Okay.
Okay, if police work for tips and tier, then I don't know.
Well, you know. But I'll thank you, and I'll open it and read it so that I don't want him to see it, but just I'll take a look at it.
in the very beautiful flowing hand of Ketch, you see "Send help, got arrested."
Oh,
Oh,
okay, guys, we gotta go.
I've got pretty okay persuasion.
Wait, yeah, why did I get arrested?
I'm honest, but I'm persuasive and likable. And
Oh,
And so I think that we can agree that you all would probably then be taking as your next steps, heading towards them. And the guard seems like he actually was kind of waiting for this. He's like, if you would like, I can show you to where the other ones are. Be
Yes,
careful.
please.
There's a large circle of cats surrounding the jail. Here.
Before too long, I'll be able to take care of that if Ketch wants me to.
Circling around the jail.
So he's going to be leading you down along this road in towards the castle district. And he'll actually take you to this large complex here, just outside the castle walls.
On our way there, I would just like to ask Dylan. Dylan, I realize this is something you would probably know, but do you have experience with renting ships? Or do you have one that, maybe not a ship, maybe all we need is like a little boat, but a ship could be nice. To get us to Moontree Isle?
I am familiar with the various vessels that could get us there, although given what you all reported about no one has gotten in or out, I'm not sure I can, pay people enough to take us there. That might take some doing, but I have at least a few leads. And for Elise, I'm not sure if you heard, but they received a note brought by a guard, which in Ketch's handwriting said, "Send help, we've been arrested."
Got it. Thanks.
And pivoting to Ketch and Nero, yes, you made a very good persuasion roll, and the guards were sort of like, all right, we need you to come with us to sort out what's going on. They also insisted that Ketch come with you, which Ketch was a little less happy about, because I feel like Ketch was probably like, I'm not involved. Oh shit, I'm involved.
well, I'm like, lead the way.
Yeah, and you were like, oh, and there's my friend. He should probably come too. He
Damn
was
it,
Ketch,
helping
we
me.
gotta talk to these nice people over here about the burning and the weird kobolds.
So they will lead you away. You're not in manacles or anything, but you are kind of under guard. There was that patrol of sort of 4 guards, and then a second one came in. They are also bringing the dwarves who are in manacles, as is the kobold. So they're definitely treating them more cautiously, but they're sort of bringing you along. And then they take you down into their cells, but it's not like they're long holding cells. It's more like just a waiting. They seem like they're gonna sort of push you in. Further down the way, they'll push the kobold into one. They'll push the dwarves into another. Like, yeah, look, we need to make a report of this to a magistrate and see what the hell he makes of it. They will probably come back to ask more questions if you just are. He's going to sort of point at you, like you, and helpful and ask questions and answer the questions and just get it all sorted out. I don't think that there's anything too bad. That building was definitely on fire. It should all be sorted out quickly.
That's true.
Very vaguely also from outside, like you're on sort of the second floor. Yes, you can hear. What the hell is that? Anyway, we'll be back.
Are there windows?
Yes, there is a
Smushed.
I can try and talk to them if you want me to. They haven't listened yet, but I mean, I'm happy to give it a try.
I got 1 charge left. I'm not wasting that on that. Guards can deal.
So you are currently in a cell with the two of you are together, and then next to you is the pair of dwarves, and then on the far end is the kobold. Anything you'd like to do? You're just sort of sitting, cooling your heels at the moment.
Yeah, Nero would walk over to the kobold
Kobold.
and
You can't quite really walk over to him because you're in a cell. Then it's the guard, or then it's the dwarves. Then it's the kobold on like the far side.
in
And
different
there's separate cells. Yeah.
Okay. So, but are there bars in between where I could like talk to the dwarves then?
Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
easily.
So I'm gonna walk over to the dwarves then. I'm gonna stick out my hand. I'm gonna say, "Hi, I'm Nero. What's your name?"
Sam, I think bad noises are coming from your computer.
Is your shirt hitting the microphone?
No.
Do you have a cat? Is the
I
cat
do not
hitting
have
your
a cat.
microphone?
Do you have a
Trying to
Hank?
get to my ring.
Sorry, it was just like.
Yeah, it was like static.
Are we okay now?
Yeah.
Can I touch my desk without causing things to happen?
I don't know.
Can
How
you?
much does your desk like you? Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, continue.
Are you?
Well, it's a big hard piece of wood all of a sudden. So
Heyo.
It likes Sam.
Same desk. Same.
So you can kind of get like a sort of just like your fingers through. You can't like slide your hand all the way through the opening because it's horizontally slatted as well. But you're gonna sort of feel.
I stick a pointer finger through.
You're gonna feel a hand sort of grip it and like lightly shake it. My name is Merrick. How are you?
Merrick, like my husband's name, but with an M. Rachel's asking
I
this,
don't
not
know
Nero.
your husband's name.
Eric.
Yes. No. I was going with the dwarf. Did not know your
You
husband.
son
Did
of a
not know
bitch.
Nero's husband's name.
Nero is defo ace. Just saying.
Nice.
Okay, Merrick. And the other one, if he answers, I don't know.
It seems like it's just Merrick. You're sort of like peered through. It looks. The other dwarf is sort of sitting on the other side, closer to where the kobold is. This is also the one that you did not kick repeatedly in the head very hard.
Fair.
This is the one that was petting the cats.
Yes, this
Oh,
is the one who was
right.
like, we're bad at our jobs, and just was like, I'm going to sit down
I
and.
did kick that other one a lot, but to be fair, he did attack me. So, Merrick, what's your story? Why were you burning down that building and with that very shady, I mean, I almost hesitate to say liar kobold that's over there?
Oh, bless Nero's heart.
You're gonna see Merrick's face sort of like behind this like sort of long like braided black beard. Yeah, no, he's lying like a lot. Like I think everything he said is a lie. He's not very good at it, to be fair. Okay, so my brother and I, Bentley. Okay, my brother's Bentley. He's a little angry because you kicked him again and again. I don't think he remembers our parents now.
That can happen sometimes, but it's probably for the best, really.
My mother.
I don't remember my parents, and I'm fine.
Are you?
Yes, thank you for asking.
Okay, yeah. So we're mercenaries. We've been looking for some bodyguarding work, you know, odd jobs, caravan protection, anything like that, but there's just not a lot going on in a city with people disappearing at random. It turns out that when certain bad enough things happen, everyone rich enough to hire guards just hires the damn city guard. and everyone who can't just buys a sword and thinks that that's going to do something when you're disappearing in the middle of the goddamn night. It's fine. It's fine. So anyway, the little
Yeah, what we're actually looking into that, and what you did actually made it harder for us. Did you know that? You're actually kind of working against your own aims here.
I feel like for Nero, I need to institute a new charisma check that's a shame check.
I feel like what's going to end up happening is just like group therapy with Nero. Like we get to the prison and everyone's just in a nice circle. Like my mom said.
Just
gonna have a trust circle together, and
Ketch will not be participating.
Ketch will think he's not participating, but his tail will be participating.
His tail will totally be like in a seat in the circle.
Yep.
So he's gonna sort of like, no, I didn't realize that we made it harder for you in particular. Look, the lying ass kobold came to the guild and said he had a pretty simple job. He wanted some protection to go on a visit. Seemed like exactly the kind of stuff that Bentley and I were looking for. Isn't that right, Bentley?
Do your visits usually involve fire barrels?
No. Those were there when we got there. That was news to us.
Oh, so they just threw themselves in then.
Imagine, if you will, a halfway point between we brought the barrels and the barrels spontaneously threw themselves. What would that point look like, Nero?
Well, I just assumed that you were good people and that you were paid for a visit and that's all that you would do. Are you telling me you did more?
At this point, Ketch would definitely be walking up and just like rubbing his head behind Nero.
I mean, Merrick and Bentley, I don't blame you for your line of work, but fire barrels are not generally visits.
Merrick is going to
at least ask for more money?
Merrick is going to make like direct eye contact with Ketch through the bars. Look, can I talk to someone? And as you say, did you ask for more money? Oh, son of...
I mean, honest pay for somewhat dishonest work, right?
Fair's
fair.
It's a good point. Bentley, next time when the job clearly moves from bodyguarding to arson and general felonies, pay bump.
Are the guards like taking notes about the confession that happened in the jail cell?
Oh my gosh, yes.
There should really be like a scaled pricing sheet that you give to all of your employers, and they always know the next tier.
He's just sort of like, I don't. They've taken all of my possessions from me. I do not have the ability to write this down. But yes, that is a good point. Bentley.
Same. That's usually why I don't have possessions.
Ketch is going to pop in and be like, and ethics don't work for asshats.
Look, we thought he was just a little bit of an asshat. Admittedly, that was partially because he was a kobold, so very small.
But you know, this is going to be a good lesson in personal choice now, because you were hired to do one job and you did that job, and what you could have done when asked to go past your personal ethics was to say no, and that's fully within your rights of your contract. So, I feel like we're all learning something here.
And this, you hear like footsteps coming down the stairs in the guard. Right, you're up first. Oh, thank God. You're going to see the kobold like almost scamper out. Oh, please get me out of here. Oh, my God. Look, who's... Oh, fuck. Just, yes, let's go.
It was me. I burned the building, damn it.
And he's going to be sort of led upstairs. You're going to see Merrick. Do you hear that? There's a very... Scratch. sort of walks over to the window, pulls a cat through. Here. There's a cat. Good kitty. Okay, so yes, all of these are good and valid and fair points. Ethics, pricing. I really like the pricing one. That feels very relevant to my life. Look, he had a lot of coin, just said it was supposed to be a visit, seemed really, really pissed when he got there, and the person that he was going to talk to wasn't there. Then he just sort of grabbed a barrel and did some stuff with it and told us to throw it through the window.
Does he know that people are disappearing and it might not have been that person's fault that they weren't there?
No, there was a note on the door or something.
What'd the note say?
I don't know. He grabbed it as soon as we got there.
He's the cool kind of illiterate.
Okay, so he tore the note off the door and he got angry?
Yeah, we were sort of going up, we were keeping watch, all the sort of bodyguarding things, and then he got to the door, saw this note, yanked it off the door, read it, swore, crumpled it up, threw it away, swore some more, ran over, uncrumpled it, read it again, swore some more. He's very emotive. I'm not sure if you've caught that.
Yeah. What swear words did he say?
A lot of them weren't in common, and it sounded sort of reptile-y, not to be racist.
Specious, but...
Yeah, not to be that.
Was there...
Okay.
And then, like I said, he seemed really, really, really angry and began screaming lots of things that were in common at those two apprentices, I guess, demanding where had they taken him, how long ago was this, things like this. I don't think he noticed that the more he yelled at them, the more freaked out they got, so they just started trembling more, instead of answering questions. He wasn't a very good communicator, but then he, I said, did some stuff and told us to throw the barrel through, and it had been a water barrel a minute before, and then suddenly it was on fire when we threw it, so that was weird.
It had been a water barrel?
Mm-hmm. Just a water barrel on the side there.
So you weren't trying to set the building on fire?
Not with the first barrel, no.
How many barrels did you throw?
I'm also realizing this is one of those things that when we talk about the tiered pricing, this should also be a factor there. It might have been 3.
I mean, labor is an important thing to charge for.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You are so bad at your job.
We really are.
But what this can be, like I said, is a time for growth. I really feel
Teachable moment.
It's a teachable moment. So now, not only do you know about tiered pricing, but also about ethics and staying true to yourself, because I can tell you have good hearts. And I mean,
they're mercenaries, Nero. They don't have good hearts. They just need to not work for asshats and don't set buildings on fire.
Mercenaries?
That really seemed...
We are not mercenaries. We are the Marauders.
Oh.
Aren't you listed on the Mercenaries Gazetteer?
Nobody asked you, Merrick. Nobody.
Well, are we listed on the Mercenary Gazetteer?
Yes, you totally are.
Yeah.
But technically Nero asked a question, so I... just giving a response.
Catchy has a point.
Nobody asked you either, Nero. You got me in jail.
you are going to hear
Pickles and ham are never going to let me live this down.
That's
Does
fair.
does the cat's food always talk to him?
Those are my siblings, you jerk!
I
Is
don't
the
think
cat
cats
always
eat
related to
pickles.
his food?
Cats
I'm
don't
very
eat
concerned by
pickles.
everything that's happening here.
Everybody knows that, Bentley. Or Merrick, whichever one you are. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. Steve? Cats don't eat pickles.
Steve too.
Why is Steve always the name that I go with? I think the guy in this at that shady bar I named Steve, and then I named all of Minrai's brothers Steve last night.
All of them. Yeah.
Why is everything
Yep.
Steve? I live in a world of Steves.
Why is Steve your default name?
Steves as far as the eye can see. It's like the McElroys. Their default names are always like Jeremy.
Yeah, or Tommy.
Okay. So you hear some heavy metallic footfalls along with some others. And yes, you now look up the stairs and you can see a guard leading the rest of the Marauders down the hall to you. So yeah, everyone is back together. You see everyone coming in. You see one dwarf sort of slumped against the wall of his cell, looking very, very concussed, Ressa.
Can I just say before they walk in, as soon as I start to see them walking in, I decide that I want to try and have fun. This is Nero's wanting to have fun, but being bad at it. And I want to try and play a prank on them, but I don't really know how to do it. So I'm going to use my Fearbulk magic to cast a disguise self. And I'm going to make myself look like Ketch, so that both of us are in the cell together.
Do we see this, or like?
We're gonna like as soon. So maybe you can roll perception, and we can roll like, but like as soon as I see you guys start to walk in, I'm gonna be like, oh.
I'm also
cast
going to
it.
say that you hear dense footsteps on stone because he's not at all trying to be subtle. So I'm going to say like around the corner, you can hear the clang, clang, clang that you recognize very much as Dent. So I would say that I will amend what I'm saying. Yes, as you all walk in, you now see one dwarf very concussed, one dwarf staring with a very confused but also resigned expression on his face, looking at Ketch through the bars, and then behind Ketch, another Ketch with a really outraged and resigned expression on his face.
The temptation to just also disguise self as Ketch is very strong.
I just feel like this is in Nero's head. He's like, I'm gonna play a practical joke, but it's like not. It doesn't. It's stupid and means nothing. And yeah,
Minnow is gonna grab Russ's arm and be like, "I shouldn't, right?
You should. You
So
should.
Dent,
You should.
I should."
Dent immediately runs up to the prison bars, and it's like, guys, I don't know why you're here. This is strange, but I guess we've come to rescue you. But I have important news.
Where's Nero, Dent?
Wait, why? What?
and I'm gonna look
Why
at
is there two
Minnow,
catches?
and I'm gonna say, Nero got us arrested. Can you believe it?
Okay, as soon as Dent's attention is all up in like the two catches, Minnow will cast disguise self and look like Ketch. That's my last spell slot.
Wow.
Let's not get in trouble tonight.
So,
And guard the rooms.
so
then Ketch is gonna look at Nero, and then look over at Minnow, be like, "Do I really look that good?"
I'm gonna do like a hey, how dare you try to be me at Ketch.
Oh, like the Spider-Man pointing at the other Spider-Man.
Yeah.
so Dent is gonna start with like, so I met Fantril, and then I would say is when Minnow makes the catch line, and then I look over, I'm like, And then I start looking at myself. Am I Ketch too?
No,
You're just
Dent,
gonna see
you're not
Merrick has his like face in his palm. I really need to reconsider my life.
And I'm just gonna turn to him and be like, "That's a great conclusion to take from today. I'm really proud of you, Merrick." And I don't
That's
quite know how
true.
to move my tail, so I'm just gonna put my hand on the tail and just move it myself because I know that like Ketch's tail twitches a lot. So I'm just gonna like put my hand on it and just kind of shake it.
Jen
So,
looks around to see if he has a tail. He doesn't.
And now you would see Minnow also disguised as Ketch. In case, yeah. I feel kind of silly though, because now that I've done this, I'm like, what does this achieve?
Wait, so when you cast
It
a
confused the
disguise
crap out
self,
of me.
Yeah.
do you take on like the height of who you're disguising yourself as, or are you just
I
a
think
short little
normal
tabaxi now?
Normal ones don't, but I think maybe they do. But I believe that Fearbulk magic allows you at least to be like a full size or like a foot taller or shorter.
Normally, you can do a foot shorter or taller, and you can
think-
appear thin,
yeah.
fat, or in between.
Okay.
That's just the normal use. I think for furbulks, it technically extends to you can change a size category because
yeah.
furbulks are technically classified as large.
Right. Yeah.
And are
So
like
I think
7 feet tall, so you would only be a very tall human.
Yeah.
buff catch. Yeah. So I think the Fearbulk one is I can like make it at least down. Yeah, down or up a size or whatever it is.
and
So,
so
so maybe, yeah. So I think that we're both fairly close, unless Minnow is over a foot shorter than Ketch, which she very well
don't-
could be.
Think so. How tall is Ketch?
I like that.
I don't know. I thought you were a halfling or something.
Catch
Are
is
you?
5'11".
I'm 5'9".
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
What's your
I'm human.
race?
I'm human.
Human.
Oh, okay. For some
Human.
reason, I thought you were a halfling, and I was like, "That's a
Halfling
huge
is-
halfling."
My other campaign, but no.
Fair. Yeah.
No.
I was like, "DM Elise." Hey,
So
I'm 5'11" in real life. Okay, sorry.
Catches. Where did Minnow and Nero go?
They
Dent.
took Nero away for questioning separately. And then I just start laughing because I can't help it. And I take off the disguise because I feel really bad for lying. And I just look at Dent and I'm like, "I'm sorry. I just thought it'd be funny. I didn't mean to make you worry about me." And you just see that he starts actually crying.
It's
And
okay.
Catch is gonna look at Nero and be like, "You are the reason we're in here."
Quick
why are
question.
you in here?
We,
Can I roll a strength check against the iron bars?
Oh God. We're
us
all
out.
gonna be in jail. Please.
So you're asking me if you can make a strength check against the iron bars, like in an attempt to bend them.
Yes.
I would attempt to stop
Yeah,
him.
sure.
As
Why
soon
the
as I
hell
saw
not?
him.
Yeah, you can make that
I would
check.
also, I think, attempt to stop Dent.
Yeah.
But I'm already at the bars.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, when you start going for it, like, Ressa and Minnow are gonna jump on you and be like, no.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't want to go in there too.
This
I
is
mean,
how
it
we all
seems
end
like
up on the other
guard
side of those
came
bars.
to let you guys know because hopefully we're not like staying in there.
Yeah, I think we can get them out. I will just drop disguise self to not. Dent, I'm sorry, but we have to teach you about this particular spell so that you stop being so surprised by this every time.
Oh, that's
It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that illusions
Oh.
were basically lying, and I didn't mean to lie to you.
I'm gonna reach the bars and kind of smack Nero on the side of the head. Be like, get it together.
You know, Nero's just gonna like fucking Neo dodge that without even thinking.
Yeah, yeah. Especially reaching through the Mars, there's no chance. I cast Mage Hand Legerdemain to smack you over the head. No, okay, I don't. But
I like how this episode has become how to abuse D&D utility spells.
Maybe we just talk to
Yay.
the guards, though, I think, Dent, because busting people out of prison cells is a good way to get yourself thrown in a prison cell, especially when, and I point to the guard who's probably watching all of this happen. They're right there.
It's
I
just
did
not
only
something
roll a 13.
Yeah, they definitely stopped you before you were able to do much. Let me put it this way: with a 13, you think it's possible that you could have done something, but you would have needed like more time and sort of a better setup.
Some leverage or something. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so the guard's gonna sort of like lean back. He hears something come, like a call from upstairs, and he's gonna sort of go about halfway up, come back down. Just so we're clear, I'm going to be letting your friends out of there now, especially if the big one doesn't keep trying to do that.
He won't.
Also, could all of you stop trying to look like each other?
Well, I'm fresh out of spells, bud, so you're in luck.
I'll never lie again.
There's a second minnow who sort of is waving.
Oh no. Who's Minnow?
Dylan?
After a second, you're going to see Dylan appear.
Oh.
It looked like fun, and I wanted to be included.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, do it
Dylan
again.
is
I've
intoxicated.
always wondered what the back of my head looks like. Do it again. Do it again.
The guard is staring at me very angrily now, so perhaps later.
Everybody stay
Yeah, arrest
ourselves for a
someone
little
from
bit.
casting an illusion spell.
I like how Ress is like, could we maybe get out of the jail before we do these things?
Then you
So
can
the
look
guard's going to open it and sort of like, yes, the magistrate wants to talk to the two of you. But we've had, yeah, but we've had word from other witnesses that have verified your story, so we just want to make sure of the details. And he's going to sort of lead you up, and he goes, the rest of you can come with as well.
Okay, I'll follow.
And yeah, they're going to lead you through this, through the sort of halls of this, and takes you into a largish office with an elvish man sitting behind a desk. Sort of looks, yes, from the incident, yes. We've spoken to the various other the merchants on the street. Your account has been confirmed. I just wish to reconfirm it, and then you should be good to go. So you arrived accompanied by 11 cats.
Yeah, it's my
Not
posse.
counting that one. And you discovered a pair of apprentices and two dwarves who I believe are in holding downstairs. And they were throwing fire barrels into the, I'm just going to sort of flip through, fine tomes and calligraphy shop. Yes?
Sounds about right.
Yes, and then you attempted to intervene, striking them, giving chase,
Well,
and then
I
eventually coming.
don't. But there
Yes.
wasn't
Nero.
Okay. Just I tried to talk first, and then he ran.
Yes. No, I've the witnesses did make note of that. Thank you. That yes, you attempted to get them to explain what they were doing and cease and desist. They ran. One eyewitness report says that you kicked him to hell and gone. And they
Minnow
seemed
gives
very-
you a nice little pat on the back.
and then eventually.
Where's Helen gone?
It's
Probably to
an
Helen's house.
expression.
I'm sorry.
You should be. It's like, and then you ran into the patrol of guards who you explained the situation to, and then they brought you in. Is this all correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It pains me to say this, but
What about the other?
kobold friend that was brought in with us, I believe, and this has been, the dwarves that worked with him also agreed, but I believe him to be a liar in this instance. I don't believe that he really works for the Shadow Hand like he was yelling about. I know that it's a big, it's a hefty claim to put against a person, but I just need to be honest with you right now.
Yes, the employment of the pair of dwarves by the Shadow Hand has been noted, and they will be dealt with accordingly.
No, he wasn't the Shadow Hand. I'm sorry, did I make that confusing? That he was not the Shadow Hand. He yelled very loudly about it, but I mean, he was
Can I
lying.
insight check this guy?
Yeah.
What is this?
And I'll look over at Ketch to, say, speak up, or is this true?
16.
You are well familiar with the illegal side of the law. This is a guy who is just trying to make this go the fuck away. It is not hard to pick up what he's putting down, because he's very much trying to communicate to poor sweet Nero. I've told you what you need to say. You just need to fucking nod. Okay.
Yeah, Nero, you know Chaboy ain't gonna do that.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I know this. I know the characters that I am playing this situation to.
So, with this, Ketch would like to chime in.
Pick that up too.
Yeah. So, okay. Yes, we showed up on scene. They had set the place ablaze.
Yes.
They didn't want to answer our simple, very pointed questions.
Entirely unreasonable.
They decided to attack. We defended.
Yes.
But the short little annoying little asshat kobold did have a few things to say that I'm sure with everything that you have going on, you don't really need to waste the time dealing with this guy. So what I would love to suggest is that you let us take care of that. And we can just usher that right on out, and you do what you need to do with the dwarves in the cell, whom I think with proper guidance might actually choose better choices. But the kobold definitely needs a talking to. But yes to everything else that you said.
His eyes are going to sort of fix on Minna. You look reasonable.
Interesting.
You're...
man.
Oh no, you volunteer. Pointing to you, Ressa. Look, your friends were accused by the guard, or suspected by the guard, of being involved with some fairly unfortunate business, but mercifully, we have straightened things out. It was entirely the responsibility of the pair of dwarves currently in the cell. Your friends tried to stop them, which was a service to the city for which we are...
Sorry, I think you forgot about the kobold
I'm going
that
to.
was there.
He
was actually the one in charge. I think I said that.
Nero.
I'm gonna grab Nero.
The kobold.
I'm just gonna put my arm around Nero like this.
Okay.
Yeah. And just be like,
I just remember you hanging off of Nero.
My friend here really got us, and I'm gonna squeeze a little onto your shoulder, not hard,
I will
hurt
not
you.
get that.
but come on, Nero's not.
No, but Nero legitimately
Idiot.
does. He's not an idiot, but he does not understand why they are leaving out the kobold. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
feel like 100%. Like
Well, this
he's
is- Yeah. So Minnow hasn't finished talking yet.
okay.
I'm going to be like, I'm going to look at Nero with my hand on your shoulder, and I'm going to like the facial expression of like, please God, listen to me. Of like, my friend just had a very hard night and isn't ready to hear what you're saying, I think. And I'm going to help him understand. If I could just do that outside.
Of course.
Great.
Guards,
And
go with them. Please. Just watch them. But yes, but thank you. And he's going to sort of pivot back to Reza. So like I said.
So
And
you're
he's gonna sort of
as you're
start
like
walking
leading
back
Nero
through the-
out. Like I'm assuming you're leading Nero out somewhere.
Yeah, just
He's
down
definitely
towards
going to be
the-
like, okay, but also make sure that the kobold hired them.
yes,
right?
I'm
You've got
sure
that
he
written
heard-
down?
I'm sure he heard that. And as we're leaving, I want to keep an eye out for any trace of the kobold. Did we see
Sure.
him being
Give perception
escorted
check.
out? Anything?
Or did we see him in the cell when we came up?
He had
He
already
was
No,
been
he had
taken
already
out.
taken him.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
22.
So as you're on the second floor, as you're getting sort of Nero pulled off to the side, sort of down this hallway, you glance out a window and you see a kobold wearing sort of leather armament with lots of like pouches, getting into a very nice looking carriage with several very heavily armed and armored guards.
Oh God, I hate this kobold so much, but I know I didn't see this.
We should have killed him.
I tried.
Nero, I think the kobold paid off the magistrate. I don't think we have enough money to pay him off better, but maybe we have enough money to just get some information about who's bankrolling that kobold.
Can we report to the magistrate's superior? I mean, that doesn't seem.
Nero, I love you so much, but no. We don't know what's going on. I'm going to like kind of much quieter, like much quieter and
Does
away from the
this
guards.
Usually
if I can.
happen? Is
Yes,
this a
Nero.
thing?
Yes. Listen, if there's you know how once upon a time I did the whole like sticky fingers business. Okay. I've left that life behind, but I learned a lesson or two
very
from it.
proud of you.
Thank you. I made better choices, ethics. I
Good.
had an itemized schedule of my fees.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're so good, Minnow.
One of the things that I took away from that experience is that everybody has a price, except for maybe you, and that's okay. But everybody has a price, and that carriage that the kobold is leaving in reeks of the kind of money that can pay anybody's price.
What carriage? And I look around to try and see what she's pointing at.
Can
Do
I
see
send
it?
my familiar to follow the carriage?
Yeah, I would say that you probably keep Finch
Outside is generally my
outside, but like
what I
trying
did
to
at-
stay inside telepathically.
like what I
So-
did at the light in the dark.
You'd be able to, I would say, give Finch one command, which is going to sort of then be the overriding command that it's following, whether that's like follow that carriage and see where it goes, etc. But like they're probably pretty quickly going to be out of range of any
Yes,
subsequent commands or taking.
Yeah. Follow the carriage, see where it goes would be what I would say. Yeah. And then I can call Finch back or just report back. Yeah. But okay. Yeah, that's probably enough.
So Den would like to jump in here and say, like, guys, it's great that we're all back to ourselves again, and together.
To be fair, half of you were inside the magistrate's office, half of you were
I think that
outside.
Minnow
Oh.
took me out by myself to
Yes.
to have some time.
Nero
be
got
like-
taken out for quiet
Yeah,
time.
it was
by the way.
like, "Hey, I need to explain this to you, you fucking dumb cow.
Yeah, we're still in
Please
front of the
understand this.
magistrate, whom Ketch is definitely not done asking questions about.
Fair. Okay, then never mind. Den doesn't say anything.
So inside, you're going to have the magistrate again is now talking to Ressa in his desperation as he's sort of been moving through the people he thinks might be more reasonable. It's like, so again, your friends came upon this criminal scene, attempted to ascertain what was going on. The horrible dwarves acted violently, refusing to answer any reasonable questions, responded with violence. Your friends pursued them, subdued them, and then turned them over to the guard and voluntarily came with the guard. So the resolution of this situation is that there are a pair of arsonist dwarves in the dungeons, and your friends don't need to be in the dungeons.
Understood. I
Wait,
understood. Catch? No,
Oh, God,
Catch,
no.
please. No, Catch. Oh, let's just let this go. Let it go. And
We have bigger
will you at
fish
least
to
let me?
fry, right, Den?
That was the pun I was going to make, but you all stopped me. I was gonna.
I'm so sorry. I stole it. I didn't mean to.
Oh, and they're not even inside!
I know it was just for Sam. I'm so sorry.
I was gonna make
Deep
that one.
shame in my heart for you. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Stolen pun.
Right. Well,
Oh,
Ketch will
but I
look at Ressa, look up at the magistrate, look at Ressa, and then you'll see his tail just kind of like do this one kind of pull up and then just flop to the ground. And I'm defeated at the moment.
And then I'll look back at the magistrate and say, will you at least allow me to go heal the concussed dwarf? He's looking in very bad shape.
Yes, this befits the entire sort of benevolent storyline we're putting together here. Yes, that would be excellent.
Excellent. And then
And in this, Nero, you and Minnow could have come back in.
Well, I would definitely ask, like when Minnow pointed out the carriage, I would definitely look back at Minnow and say, should we follow it?
I sent Finch to follow, so we'll know where they go.
Because,
And-
I mean, I understand that the system works outside of my control, but this feels wrong.
It is wrong. It is wrong. I don't know. What we don't know is why this was done. What
Minnow,
seems-
you know I don't call people liars,
No, I know.
and that kobold was a liar.
I know, Nero,
And they're
and it's
allowing it.
Very whispered.
yeah, it's very, very whispered.
I see him going,
we are in over our heads if we try to take on the legal system, especially given what we know now about, well, you don't know yet, but the rest of us know about the Circle of Scribes being
What?
yep, it's a thing.
What?
We're gonna put this one in our back pocket. All right, we're writing this on a
Can I fit a kobold in my
Figurative.
back pocket?
no. It's
Oh.
we're writing it down on a fake pen, fake paper right now. Okay, we're
Okay,
writing
I'm following. Yep.
lying kobold.
Okay.
Magistrate takes bribes.
Okay.
Frame job.
Hmm.
Don't know why.
Okay. And
And
Nero
yeah.
holds his hand out.
Place the fake note. Put it in your back pocket. We're gonna sit on it figuratively and
That is
literally.
what I do to my back pocket.
Yes,
It's true.
Yes, we're sitting on it figuratively and literally, and we are waiting for when this information will help us. Does that make
But you-
sense?
You promise.
Yeah,
that we
I
won't
think
just
it'll
let it
help
go?
if you mull
That's
it over.
why we. That's why it's in your pocket. It's not being let go. It's being saved, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Minnow. And they start to tear up again. It's just been.
Okay.
It's just been.
And hopefully that was all out.
I know.
So
Yes,
are-
we're all very quiet in the hallway, as quiet as possible.
Are we all in the same hallway now?
Yeah, I would have said that we were done. Are we done? I would have asked the magistrate. Are we good then? We can all go and then I'll go heal the dwarf.
He's going to want you to go. Perhaps you heal and then return just to make sure that there's no funny business with the cells. And besides, there's some paperwork that has to be finished up. But yes, if you go take care of that and come back, I believe you all should be free to go.
Okay.
Can I? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say I'll go ahead and step out then. Say I'll be back.
And I would like to ask Nero something. So once we're in the same place, Nero, I've been thinking, and when I know it's important, when you used disguise self, as you put it, you felt that you were lying to me. But I think that disguise self can be used for good. I think like it could be used for safety and protection, and I don't like talking in public places so much, but maybe if I could do this, maybe I would be more comfortable with talking to regular people out in public. Is this something you could teach me?
I don't know. It's just something I've been able to do ever since I was a child. It's a part of. I've been told it's a part of my race, though I've never really known anyone from my race.
No. Okay.
But Minnow also knows it. And I don't know if you've noticed, but she is not a Firbolg. So
What?
maybe.
I wish I had disguise self still, or another spell slot. 'Cause I could
You guys are like,
a very
Yes,
short
I
furlough.
maybe we should check in on her, and I could give you tips based off of what I know. How does that sound?
At this, by the way, as you're all sort of in this room, Dellen has caused himself to look like a Firbolg version of Minnow.
I like this very
you know, Dellen also knows how to do things. He's very smart. And I feel like maybe he would like to help. I mean, he went with you to the fish market, so maybe you two are really developing a relationship, and this would be a good way to continue that. And I look at Dellen, Firbolg Dellen, and I just kind of give him...
no, it's Firbolg Minnow.
Oh, sorry, Firbolg Minnow Dellen, and just go, yeah?
I'd like to point out that his facial expression still is like his sort of tremulous, very unsure facial expression, just done on a Firbolg version of a Minnow, which is extremely disquieting.
So I feel like also Nero is almost never around Firbolgs. Like, it's just, they are not, his entire tribe burned to death when he was a child, and he was raised in the monastery by monastery, not ministry, by
ministry from fire, monastery from
all the things. Really, all my characters are the same. There you go. And I feel like he would also kind of freeze a bit at seeing for Firbolg Minnow Dellen, and just kind of walk over to him and ask, "Could I give you a hug?"
Sure.
And he would just give like a way too warm, way too like, you
Long.
know, not like, yeah, just like full
Creepy.
body, just like,
overly familiar.
So
Yes.
I'd also like to point out that just as a note, because of the way that disguise self works, Dellen has basically made himself look like 1.5 feet taller. And so you go for a hug and you basically have just wrapped around his head and are just like crushing him into
Love
your
it.
chest. And you're going to sort of like, you're.
And I'm gonna go. Oh, thanks anyway, Dellen.
While this is happening,
He's like heavy breathing. Nero's just
It's
like
fine, it's
slowly
fine.
tears rolling down, just like.
Oh.
Okay, Minnow, sorry.
no, that's fine. While this is happening, can I cast a message and whisper quietly to the magistrate? I will say 10 gold if you tell me who the kobold's bankroller is.
Not for 10 times that.
Interesting.
And so at this, Ressa, I would say you could be back.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was going to say, is there anything you wanted to do while you were down there?
Yeah, so was I leaving the room when those two were still in the hallway?
Yeah, they were sort of, you probably said, like, I'll be back, and, like, motion that they could go in again.
Okay, where is the guard in relation to me? Did he precede me out, or is he following me?
He was following you out.
I want to, like, walk toward Minnow a little bit, and like, since the guard's behind me, say, or just mouth the word dagger, dagger, dagger.
And
see
pass
if
her
he
a
can
dagger?
see a dagger
Yeah.
without him noticing.
I just
Give me a
slide
sleight of hand check.
a hand dagger over. Yeah. $15.
15. Yeah, does not seem like you noticed.
Excellent. Okay, and then I'll just say, I'll be right back. I'm going to go heal the one dwarf that was in bad shape.
Just knife him.
And now I'm concerned.
That's how you heal somebody.
It's a very roguish approach to healing.
How you get information.
Ooh. Perhaps Ressa's thinking differently than the rest.
I don't think that this is
No,
what
no,
Ressa's
go ahead.
thinking. Like,
Yeah,
this is gonna
no,
be one
we're just
hell of
being
a-
silly.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm assuming the guard will then let me into the cell.
Yes.
And I'll just, before I go in, I'll say, I'm just here to heal you. So don't take alarm. And the guard is staying out of the cell.
Yeah, he's sort of staying at the door watching.
Okay. So I'm going to go over to Benley that's slumped over, and I'm going to kind of kneel down and like make a show of casting healing word. And as I'm doing that, I want to try to keep my back to the guard and slip him the dagger and speak to him very quietly and just let him know that the kobold paid off the magistrate. You're on the hook.
Nice. Give
Good
me a
thinking.
performance check
Oh.
for the spell.
Okay.
For just basically how emotive you're able to make the spell while still actually casting a spell.
Oh, my charisma is not good. So I just click on performance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Oh,
you know,
Oh, you have a -1 for charisma? Shit.
I know.
Bless.
so I was going to hold off because like I got my first ever inspiration, but
I have one.
but I really feel like I want you to do better here. If I gave her inspiration, if I gave Ressa inspiration, would that make it a 10?
Or would
Or
you
would-
roll?
It would be another
Which we-
roll.
A roll.
And she
another
would
roll.
take the first roll of that die. To be
Yeah.
fair, she rolled a 4, so she rolled on the very low end of the D20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this is good karma, and it'll come back to help me later. But I'm gonna use my inspiration now.
Okay.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thank
So,
you.
Heather, you can go ahead and make another roll.
Okay, come on, please, please. Oh no! No!
Okay.
Stop!
This is just like what happened yesterday in Spire too, when you like gave mastery.
Yeah, why is it every time I try to help, it hurts people? Doesn't matter which
So,
world
Heather, you can go
The
ahead
Sam Winnie story.
and give me your choices of stealth or sleight of hand in order to pass the dagger over to this dwarf.
Okay. Oh, they're the same. So
I believe in you, Heather.
I don't know. Come on, please.
Oh, Jesus
The
Christ!
fuck?
No!
Can I give her inspiration? This is a different roll.
This is a
It's a
train
different
wreck.
roll. You absolutely can.
I have inspiration, and as Nero, I feel so much like I appreciate Ressa doing this.
Oh, this is a train wreck,
Okay,
though.
I will uncheck my inspiration,
Oh,
and
my
I will.
gosh.
give it to you. Okay,
oh
Heather.
God.
you can
That
do
was
it,
a
Heather.
fumble.
We
by
haven't
the
rolled
way.
over 10 yet.
We have a 3, a 3. No, 12.
But
Okay.
it's at least
I saw
It's
the
above
4
10.
first.
I would have cried if it was a 4.
Christ.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
It's over 10. It's over 10.
So,
Fucking brutal.
God, Heather.
you're kind of like trying to make this spell really, really emotive, and it's kind of difficult for you because like your healing word is more or less just like a single word, like
Word.
and that's it. And so it's like, okay, how gestures, and so you're almost focusing so much on that you're pretty sure it's not going great, and that's also making you nervous. But you sort of slip him the dagger, and you very quickly try to whisper that message, and you're not exactly sure how clear you were with what you said, but you are relatively sure that the guard did not see Bentley get the dagger.
Okay.
And go ahead and roll a healing word for me.
Okay. Did you roll? It didn't roll. Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay. I'm going to say that that's 4. Okay, so you did it at a higher level cast, so
Yeah.
it was 7 total. I'm going to go ahead and make that 6, because you basically made the spell slightly less efficacious as you were trying to perform, keeping in mind that that's still a very good amount of hit points for him, and you sort of see him like, and you see Bentley like, you've kind of slid the dagger like under his hip on like the far side from the guard, and you see him sort of feel that, roll his eyes up to you, roll his eyes over to like Merrick, like, thank you.
You're welcome. Hopefully, you're feeling quite a bit better.
Yeah. Brother, I have questions. But yeah,
Oh
it
yeah,
seems like
the unhealed one wasn't the smart one. Neither of them were the smart one, but one was slightly
True.
smarter than the other. No thanks to my kicks. That's fair.
one of them was very concussed, and one of them was very open about not being good at his job
No.
and fond of cats. Merrick is still holding the cat that like got in through the window. It was just like
That he pulled in through the window.
Right. I don't know if I got in. Okay.
Well, they got to the window.
Yeah.
And then you just pull in a cat.
Okay.
And yeah, so if that's it, Ressa.
Yeah.
you'll go back up. The guard will escort you up. The guard will kind of lean in and speak to the magistrate. And Minnow, you can actually overhear that. Yeah, he's just saying like, she went down, healed him. He seems to be doing better. Blah blah blah. And you had asked him that question. He's going to sort of look at you all. Give me a persuasion roll. Whoever wants to in the group may make a persuasion roll.
Not Ressa.
What are we persuading?
You are persuading the magistrate largely to the question that Minnow had asked, but it is essentially the impact of your conduct on him.
I mean, I feel like Nero has conducted himself very appropriately, so I'm gonna roll a persuasion check.
Can Nero roll with advantage from Minnow's question and yeah?
It's more that the DC and everything has been reflective of that and the fact that you're getting to roll it all.
Nice.
That works.
I have +4 persuasion, 18. So
I'd say I have 3.
Yeah.
You're gonna see the magistrate sort of like look and like, yes, and so they sort of mutter something to the guard and point out like, yes, go take these papers down to them. Everything is in order here. And he's gonna sort of look at each of you. The reports have mentioned that you all are interested in the disappearances in this city and what is happening.
News travels fast, huh?
Well, when you have a person kick the hell out of a dwarf in the middle of town and the fire being set, etc., questions tend to get asked. I do not know what to make of you, but in this city, I am perfectly happy to accept all the help that I can get. There are many questions that could be asked of this situation, and many of those would be very expensive answers. You take my meaning?
Understood.
And he's going to sort of reach.
Minnow just pats Nero and says, back pocket, back pocket.
He's going to go, this would be the paper that you will have. It details all of the events of this, the documentation of everything. You might wish to keep it with you for a bit, just in case any questions were to be asked. And he's going to, as he's passing it to you, Minnow, very distinctly and quickly circle a letter S and hand it to you.
Okay, I take it.
I hope you are able to find out more of what you seek, and I also hope you are able to find out more about these disappearances.
Thank you.
So the catch is going to be like, so can we get out of here now?
Yes, you are free to go.
What was your name, Magistrate? Did we get his name?
No, actually, you hadn't.
Steve.
Steve.
Another one? Minnow's like, why are they all Steve?
Davith. But,
Davith?
yeah, but I'm usually in my chambers during normal working hours.
Noted. Thank you, Magistrate Davith.
And then I'll turn to go.
So you
Yeah.
said that there were questions we could ask about the disappearances? Is that what?
Yep.
Okay.
Nero,
okay.
we will talk so much when we are not in this building.
I love talking with you, Minna.
Oh, I love talking with you, Nero.
You see the magistrate just sort of like slump over his desk slightly. And yeah, you walk outside. You are in the castle district. You appear to be free. You appear to have, for the second time today, Minnow, been handed a piece of paper with some hidden information on it, which I guess is perfectly on brand for your character. You all have managed to get yourselves out of jail and not into further trouble while getting out of jail.
Yay.
Oh my gosh. It only
Not
cost
for
us 2
lack of
inspiration.
trying.
Yeah.
There were attempts made. Dellen is still incidentally walking around looking like a furbolg, you know? He seems sort of stunned by the hug, and he's just forgotten to drop the spell.
I will tell you that Nero has been absolutely stealing glances at him, like awkwardly, the whole time since. Just kind of like
Interested in Lady Fearbolg Minnow. Just,
not interested in the sense of like in Fearbolg, like
like
the fuck. I want
Minnow
to.
is also just uncanny valley, like keeps glancing at Dylan.
Who still has his, like I said, generally concerned facial expression, which is not your normal facial
I feel
expression.
like Nero has extremely high perception and would just like, kind of look at Minnow and be like, "It is a bit strange, right?"
Yeah, it's weird. I think next time, tomorrow, when I have spell slots again, I'm gonna make myself look like a Fearbolg. Okay, I'm not.
Oh,
That's
sure.
I can if you want. Does it upset you?
Mm.
I mean, I've just never really seen another one. So,
Never?
well, not.
Since
I
would
don't
we all
think they're
know
around
that?
here much. I don't think they're around here. I think my idea was like,
Yeah, you had specifically, I think, requested during character creation
Yeah.
that there aren't that many. Your clan was sort of the main group in this area.
I guess that
Yeah.
probably means Minnow has never seen another Fearbolg either.
you travel a lot
traveled
more
more?
than me.
And I would say that Nero, you might have seen some, like when you've been down south, but not necessarily interacted with in a long, or like had
And
the
I feel like
opportunity.
right, and I feel like this would have been before Nero really like accepted himself for who he was in going up and talking to literally everybody unprompted. So I think he would have probably like seen them and just been a bit more like, nervous and stuff. But
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, you stand out, and it is getting along to evening. And Dellen will sort of turn like, probably we should get back to the tattooed turtle. Just make plans for the dent. And
plans for the dent.
Dent, you are rocking backwards, and your vision is sort of flashing back and forth, and in your head, you hear attempts failed. Provide location beacon. Active now. And you feel the same warm sense of the voice, and then searing pain. And you will actually fall over onto your back. And
I feel like Nero would also try and react and catch. I
you
might
kind
not
of,
be
like,
successful, but I would try to
soften
like.
falling, but it's
Right.
he's still down. It's just instead of kang, it's sort of flop, and you supported his head landing. And you, Minnow, you notice one thing. Dent, you notice something very different as you fall. Dent, you have a sense of a little pulse of light or sound or pressure. It's sort of all of those at once, and it's somewhere off to your northwest, fairly close by. Nero, you've managed to support this, and you're like sort of like Dent, and he doesn't really seem to be responding. Ressa is also sort of rushed over, and Ressa, you notice that the sigils and the patterns on Dent's armor are blazing bright white light.
I take a fish out of like his pouch and just kind of wave it in front of his face.
Smelling fish, good, good. And Ketch and Minnow, very accustomed to keeping watch for the rest of the group. In the evening, the sort of gathering gloom with the sun setting off sort of behind you, you turn northeast towards the lake. And in the gathering darkness, high in the air, you see blinking lights of green and yellow and blue, sort of winking dimly on and off, on and off. And then they disappear.
Did you see that? That's UFOs. It's aliens.
Oh, wow, that's a big jump.
And I think that's what we'll wrap up with tonight.
Oh, of course.
Aliens.
Aliens.
But aliens. So, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you enjoyed this and you would like to see more of it, like I said, you can follow us or subscribe to us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. You can also check out our podcasts with links to find those down below in the description, or check out our YouTube archive where we're Helpful Goat Gaming. Thank you so much for listening tonight, and thank you, of course, to the wonderful, wonderful people playing this game. I love getting to watch you all bring these characters to life, and I love the fact that you can take things and make so much of them. I particularly enjoyed, Rachel, at one point when you're like, yeah, but come on, Nero's not going to do this. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know the characters that I have made this scene for.
Right. Fair.
I understand. But thank you so much for playing. I hope you guys had a good time. Hope everyone in the audience had a good time. Like I said, next week, Wednesday, we should have probably more Adventures in the Void. I'm fine. I remember the names of the things we do. And then on Thursday, probably more Spire. And then Friday, maybe a return to Fates of Rim. So for everyone here at Helpful Goat Gaming, thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, be well, and take care of each other. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.